Alright, so I got recently linked to an interview from Kishimoto regarding some unanswered questions about Naruto, some pretty interesting trivia, and some big hinting at part 3 or the spin-off, the miniseries that's coming up leading up to the movie as well. Some of the stuff is interesting, some of it actually, it felt a little bit, I don't know, I didn't know how to feel about some of it, to be honest with you, and we'll jump into it in a second, but I honestly think, based on the way he's talking in this interview and everything I know from beforehand, like, different interviews and whatnot, that it's going to be as follows. The spin-off manga in spring, then the summertime movie, and then after that I think the anime is going to cover from there on forward. I think maybe at some given point Studio Period might animate that spring special, but let's begin with this interview. When Kishimoto first created Naruto, he was inspired by a roadside ramen stall. He wanted to write about a youth eating ramen. His theme is considered questionable, but in the end it still became serialized while under doubts. Now this was a little bit weird. The fourth appearance was inspired by carelessly jumbling up Kiba and Akamaru's combination, and so Naruto's father's image was set. So it was like when he was doing a combination of, I don't know how to feel about that. That sounds so random and trollish. Like, what? That just seems weird as shit. Like, Akamaru and Kiba. I can understand maybe Kiba, but huh? Before the Chunin exams, Kishimoto originally wanted to draw a few more missions, but to ask him to illustrate the whole ninjaverse at one go, which by the way, this interview, the translation isn't the best in English, so maybe eventually, hopefully we'll get a better translation, but continuing on, Kishi says, it is very stressful to have to do so many characters, so he asked his assistant to help, and the assistant created Lee, using references from Jackie Chan. I thought he was actually based from Bruce Lee, and again, that's why I'm a little bit iffy with this interview, but yeah, I definitely can see that there should have been a little bit more or a few more missions before the Chunin exams, because we had one really big mission, the stuff with Zabuza and Haku and whatnot, but pretty much right after that, it was like, okay, Chunin exam, bam, you had your big mission, and I guess maybe like they're supposed to infer that, oh yeah, there was a few more missions, but they never got shown. I would have liked to actually see that. I think it would have bridged the gap a little bit easier. And as far as Lee goes, wow, so Jackie Chan, I honestly thought it was Bruce Lee again. In Akatsuki, Kishimoto's favorite is Hidan. Kishi was told that the image of Shikamaru smoking can't possibly be animated on TV, but Kishi did it anyway. He tried to make Hidan look not as intimidating. Kishi feels as though Jiraiya's death was spectacular, therefore if he was Edo Tensei, it would be hard to draw Naruto's reaction. That's why Jiraiya did not reappear. Now I'll be honest, while a part of me did want to see it just because, like, I love Jiraiya, he's probably one of the best characters in all of Naruto, ultimately I'm glad he didn't revive simply because his death was so impactful in Shippuden. It was one of the best deaths in the entirety of Naruto, not just Shippuden, and bringing him back kind of would have done a little bit of a disservice to it simply because it was so well done and just everything about it really was impactful. So I'm kind of glad in a way, even though as much as I wanted to see him because I love the character, he didn't come back, because it would have just been really hard on Naruto as well, and like it kind of would have took a little bit away from his character development. Kishi is troubled by Sakura's popularity among the readers. While he was drawing covers, it was easy drawing Naruto and Sasuke, but for Sakura, Kishi had to spend more time redrawing and adjusting, worrying that he might draw her ugly. Sakura's family is not revealed because of popularity reasons, but Hinata, with low number of appearances, were consistently popular with the readers. Kishi once had the idea to change Hinata to the hero, and Kishi referenced celebrities before making Sakura. Now for starters, I believe Sakura's family was introduced in the movie Road to Ninja as well as the anime, so he probably didn't have any part in actually introducing them. He was just like, I can't do it, you guys want to do it, go for it, but not me, bro. And as far as switching Hinata to the main heroine, I would have loved that. I think that would have been a great move, to be honest with you, but the fandom. Just imagine the reaction that would have, oh my god, the chaos that would have ensued if, let's just say, in Shippuden, it went from Sakura to Hinata being, oh my god, I could see it now. Fuck this shit. Oh my god. Or even for like an arc or two, people would have just, I would have loved it, and I'm sure a lot of people that love the character Hinata would have loved it as well, but ooh. Now this was one thing that I didn't really care for, and I'll explain. He let Neji die for Naruto and Hinata to become closer. That's how Hinata brought her daughter to visit the grave in chapter 700. I think they meant that's why. Naruto's son Boruto and Neji are the same meaning. This is all intended early on, Kishi said. I needed a factor for Hinata to become more like Naruto's heroine, so I kind of made him die as a Cupid. The interviewer says it sounds silly to air this. So yeah, I kind of agree with the interviewer as well. Kind of should have just cut that out, because it's like, I don't feel good knowing that Neji's death was mainly to make a pairing happen. While it kind of makes sense in a way, when Neji was like, I trust Hinata to you now, and like, the way they kind of paired up and everything, and it did make sense in that regard, but just his death should have had impact because of his character and everything about him prior to that leading up. I wish he would have said something like, finally him being free or something. The fact that he actually said this was to make them get together and closer, I don't like that. I mean, Neji was an awesome character, and to see him go out because he wanted Naruto and Hinata to be together. What do you guys think about that? He talks a little bit about Naruto's, different designs, and that he doesn't really like to have close-ups when he's doing KOs, like when Naruto KOs an enemy, because he thinks it takes away from the impact. At the end, when Naruto and Sasuke fight, the original intention was that they were going to be holding hands, but Kishi changed his mind and cut their hands, making a more gory ending. Very good decision. I think almost everybody would have been like, what the fuck are you doing, if it would have just ended with them laying down holding hands at the end. I think the way he did it was way more symbolic. It was way more graphic. They lost something. It had a meaning and a purpose. That was one of the best decisions he's ever done. And then last but not least, what most people clicked on this video for. When Naruto ends, Kishi introduces next year's movie and Naruto Exhibition 2015, revealing that Orochimaru, Kabuto, and lesser characters will be reappearing in the Boruto series to finish the main plot. Then Kishi says he will be relaxing for the time being, calling an assistant to discuss about the new series. However, it is unclear whether the new series will be centered around ninjas or around a totally different theme. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Is Orochimaru going to be the main villain? What's Kabuto going to be up to? I'd imagine we're definitely going to see Kabuto back at the orphanage, and if he doesn't go back or meet up with his, surrogate brother or whatever, that's going to be a shame. But yeah, very interesting interview. A lot of things to be said with this one, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what a lot of you people think, because between a possibility at some given point of Hinata being the main heroine, I mean, at the end of the day, the last Naruto the movie, she is the main heroine, so that speaks volumes of what Kishi wanted to do. Also, with finding out, that Orochimaru and Kabuto are going to be in part 3, hopefully Orochimaru has a huge part, and we finally find out what the fuck spurred all of this. Why has he done this? Why did he attack the village all those years ago? And the whole thing with Neji, I think that just takes away from the meaning of Neji. The fact that it was mainly for a pairing. I get it, but I don't know. I really like the deeper meaning of, being free from the Hyuga family and things of that nature. So, I don't know. I think that should have never even been said. And yeah, what is you guys' takes on this entire interview? I will link it in the description so you guys can check it out for yourself. And yeah, I honestly think this was one of the most interesting interviews we've ever had from him, because it gave us a lot of insight for the future, the past, the present, and beyond, because it was just like, wow. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.